Hi, I'm Brandon, and I've decided to do a tier list video and rank the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I just downloaded this app and I've never used it before, but I've seen other people doing them and I find some of them quite interesting. So I've decided to rank the order from best to worst of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies to see how it compares with other horror fans out there. So let's get into it. Well, I think the first and most obvious one is going to be the 2010 remake. I don't think there's a lot of debate out there over where this one fits into the legacy of the series. I mean, there's some people that maybe hate it less than others, but I would put this around dead last. I wanted to like this movie. I still want to like it. I just can't bring myself to do it. I own the whole series on Blu-ray, and I love these movies. I've watched them quite a bit. But this one, it just doesn't do justice. I like Jackie Earl Haley. Is that the actor's name as Freddy? He does a good job as Freddy. He's a good actor. Like the makeup was different and it was passable. There's just something about it that doesn't quite work in my mind. Like Robert Englund is quite a tall guy. He's just like a tall, lanky guy, which just fits that character. It makes him more intimidating. But Jackie Earl Haley, he's just a shorter guy. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It doesn't mean you're a bad actor. And it doesn't mean the character couldn't work. It just kind of makes Freddy less intimidating. And also, there's something about the glove. Like the glove in the original movies, it just looked like a much more formidable weapon. It was just bigger. It's something about it just seemed better. And they also lost some. I know they tried to go back to their original roots or whatever they say with the remake, because some of the newer Freddy movies, they got a bit ridiculous. But I kind of like the ridiculousness of it. That's kind of the appeal of Freddy, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Like with Halloween and Friday the 13th, you're kind of limited because it more or less happens in something related to the real world. So it's more kills. They're mostly just stabbing type of kills. With Freddy, he can kill you in the dream world, so he can do literally anything. He can turn you into a little puppet marionette thing. He can turn you into a comic book and then slice you up. There's all sorts of different ways he could kill, and the kills could be, there's no limit to the imagination he could use in the kills, which is what makes them so good. So for this one, when they decided to go back to the origins, and every kill is just stabbing, like to be honest, like I've seen the movie probably maybe 5-6 times. I don't think I can remember any of the kills. Like I remember the opening scene was the guy that cuts himself his throat, and then there was the one where the girl dies. It's basically the same as the Tina dying in the first one, where she's killed in bed, being dragged around the roof and stuff. But that was just a copy of the first movie. The rest of them I can't even remember them. Like there's nothing memorable about it. And the movie is just kind of dull and dry. And they tried something different with the potential that Freddy might have been innocent and being falsely accused. But then they just turned back on that, and it turns out he actually was guilty after all. So it wasn't really that new. There was something missing in that movie, and they ruined something that I was really looking forward to. But enough of that. Let's get on to these others. Let's see. I might have to move these around a bit because I haven't actually planned this out yet, and I might change my mind as we're doing it. But let's just pick one here. Ooh, let's go Freddy's Revenge, the second one. My first thought, I would let's put it number 5 for now. I might move it later. It's kind of the weird one of the bunch. It's like they had the first movie and then they went in a weird direction for the second one, and then they went back to the original direction with the third one. So if you watch like the first, well, even basically all of them at the New Nightmare, this is the one that stands out where the story's different, like the lore is different. It's kind of a weird one, and I still like it. I even think it might even be one of the scarier ones. It might even be scarier than the first movie. It's hard to tell because as a horror fan, I don't really get scared of any horror movie because I've just seen them so many times, and I basically just don't find them that scary. I find them really awesome and great, but I think people might find this movie disturbing. There is some disturbing imagery in it. So I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. Obviously, everyone talks about Part 3. Part 3 and Part 1 seem to be most horror fans' favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and Part 2 just doesn't get talked about a lot. But now that we're on the subject, Part 3, I'm going to put that right up at the top as number 1. I don't think there's going to be a lot of debate there. It's a great movie. I know a lot of fans think it's the best one. Like it's great because it was part 4 is kind of when it got into it's like a lighter tone and a more goofy Freddy, and we see more of that in Freddy's Dead. But part 3, it was still pretty serious. We got kind of a little bit of the one-liners, and one really good main one-liner, and we all know what that is. Involves a television. But part 3, like it's dark, it's kind of scary. I just like how the story is just the kids that are like the teenagers that are in that hospital, and they can't rely on the adults. They're forced to fight themselves, and they have to fight Freddy. It's got that same vibe as like Monster Squad or the Goonies, where it's like the kids are just doing something on their own outside of the realm of the adults. And when I was a kid, like when I first saw this, like something about that appealed to me. This was actually the very first one I ever saw, and I was pretty damn young. I think it was like the second horror movie I ever saw, and I was probably too young to watch it. I watched it at a sleepover with some friends, and yeah, it traumatized me. I couldn't sleep for a while after that. And it's funny because my parents knew that something was up because I just like wouldn't sleep. I was scared to go to bed, so they knew something was up. And a couple days later, I finally admitted that at that sleepover, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. But the thing is, even though it traumatized the living hell out of me, I still liked it. Like when we watched it, I was like, "This is a freaking cool movie." Anyways, let's keep going. Let's go Freddy versus Jason. Where would I put that? Oh, that's a hard one. Is it better than part 2? Damn, that's a hard one. I'll put it equal to it right for now. I guess part of this list is that I'll make sure there's one in every spot, so I have to eventually make a decision. It's hard to tell. Like I really like Freddy vs. Jason, but it's not quite all that it should have been. I don't know how other people feel about it. I know it's a very popular movie, and there's a lot of good stuff. But if you're looking at it from the point of view of Nightmare on Elm Street, which this list is about, I find that Freddy kind of gets the short end of the stick in this movie, in that pretty much every kill is Jason. I think Freddy only has one kill in the entire movie, where he sets that guy on fire in the room. It should have been more equal. It's like you have the budget for it, and you have both these iconic characters. Have Freddy do some cool kills. Instead, he's just more manipulating Jason to do all the kills himself. Like it's basically like a Jason movie with Freddy in it, rather than them being equal. So I guess I just talked myself into putting it at 7. But don't get me wrong, it is still a really good movie. I really like it, but I think when I do my Friday the 13th list, it'll be placed much higher. Okay, original. Actually, let's go with part 4. Where would part 4 go? I think part 4 might. Ooh, I gotta remember the first one. I might. I have to say, I think I like part 4 more than the original. I know that might be fighting words for some Freddy fans out there, but I think part 4 is awesome. Like I know they really went with a way lighter tone, and they started to have a lot of jokes in there, and it kind of they stopped taking it seriously. But it had some great kills, like some really great kills. The bug being crushed in the trap, and even the opening kills, like with Kincaid and Joey being dispatched right off the beginning. Like those were some really well done parts. And I love Alice as a character. I think I like her pretty much equal to Nancy. I think Alice is just a great character, and even the parts they watching the documentaries and the commentaries on them, they kind of cheaped out on they ran out of money, so they had the brother character when he's doing the karate and then he gets killed by the invisible Freddy. Even those ones, even the filmmakers that hate that because they just didn't have the budget to do what they wanted, I even like that kill. I just think like there was a lot of imagination in that movie, and I think it people kind of shit on it sometimes, and I don't think it deserves it. Whoa, New Nightmare. It's I don't think it's obviously like it's good. And I guess I should say this right off the bat that even the bad movie, except for the remake, I like all the movies. Like I would, if I could, I put them all in the first spot. Like I really like them all. It's just now that I have to rank them, I really have to kind of. It's not easy to do. There's none of them that I really hate. Like yeah, like New Nightmare is a really good movie. Like it's a really good movie. It's obviously different because it takes place in real life, but I'm glad they took it in a different direction. It's a well done movie. See, if I put it here, that means I got to put part one down here, and I think part one. Oh, it's hard to pick between. Let's drag this guy up. Like part one is iconic. It's very iconic. It has a lot of great stuff in it. It's just it's kind of like a lot of movies where everyone says that the first one is the best. Like they say that sometimes with the Friday the 13th series, because I don't want to say everyone's trying to be snobs or anything, but I know there's a lot of people, they want to just say like that one's the best and all the sequels suck. There is that kind of mentality, but I think that like fans of the series, like real fans of the series, don't always like the first one the best just because it was the original. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's a lot of fans that do think that, but I don't think that way. I don't think it's the best one. I think 3 is the best one. It's hard to pick between these two. Like the first one, it was dark and scarier. It hadn't gotten goofy yet. Freddy was still a menacing figure. It has some downright memorable deaths. There are some parts not so good, like the very, very ending where the mom gets like sucked through the window. Like it has things like that where it's just like, okay, that's kind of bizarre. I might have to go like this and put the original at number 3, and then New Nightmare at number 4. And I just realized I'm missing a 6 here. I'm sure everyone already realized that, but I'll have to adjust. So I added a new one, and we'll just move these down here. I'll just edit this out. Okay, there we go. I added the extra space in there. I can't believe I embarrassed myself like that in my very first one of these videos, but so be it. So I think if I move... Well, I got some more space in there now. Ooh, Freddy's Dead. I'm going to say this right now, and I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for it. I love Freddy's Dead. I know a lot of people would probably put it right here. I really like Freddy's Dead. Is it better than New Nightmare? It's hard to say, but I think I'm going to have to do it. I think I like it better than... I don't know. I like them both for different reasons, but Freddy's Dead, maybe it's just because I saw it when I was much younger, and maybe it was just something special about that time in my life that I was just a happy, innocent kid, but I just loved it. But it has some very inventive kills, and some of them don't make a lot of sense. Like the movie, I think it plays with the rules. It breaks its own rules more than any of the other movies, like the divide between the real world and the dream world. But some of those kills are really cool, like the one where he's in the video game and stuff. Like it's just so off the wall crazy, and it doesn't make sense, especially how that little portal to hell like opens up and then he falls through it to like die. But it's like that opens up and they see that in the real world where that should be in like the dream world. There's so many things like that didn't quite make sense, but I really like the movie just because it has a really big sense of fun. Like I think honestly New Nightmare probably is a better movie, and if I watched them both again right now I'd probably be like, yeah, New Nightmare's better. But there's something about Freddy's Dead that is just a lot of fun. And it's got some cool cameos in there like Alice Cooper. So I guess I'll leave it there. And that leaves us with part 5, which I'd probably put there. I still like part 5. It's a cool movie to watch. I like all of them. But there is something about it that seems rushed, and I know the production was rushed because part 4 made more money than any of the others. It was such a big success that the studio whatever just wanted make another one right away, so they had to just rush into this movie. They made the poster apparently before they even had a script, so they knew something to do with Freddy has a baby. They're calling it the Dream Child, but they didn't know what the story was, and the movie doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, so the baby's dreaming, but it's Alice that the nightmares are happening to. Like it just doesn't make, even within its own story, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. If anyone can explain it to me briefly in a comment or whatever, please do. But it's a very kind of confusing movie. But if you ignore all of that, it does have some great kills in it. But I would still have to probably put it there because it just doesn't stand up to some of the other movies. And overall, like, the Freddy movies are great. They're very imaginative. But if there's one drawback, is that there's too few deaths in a lot of them. Like, I'm pretty sure in part 5 and in Freddy's Dead, and I think in New Nightmare, there's only like 3 deaths in each one. And like in the Jason movies, there's like 20, 30. There's like a lot of kills. Whereas the Freddy ones, like, I think it's just the budget constraints. Like, it just to make the set pieces, just to have the grander, bigger type of deaths. It means that in exchange they could do fewer of them, which is a shame because it would have been nice just to have like 8 or 10 instead of 3. But I guess that's the decision that they made, and we just have to live with it. They're still good movies overall, and I know, especially like in Freddy's Dead, I know people complained that like there weren't enough deaths and too many people survived. That could almost be good in a way because it leaves a bit of suspense instead of like every single character except the main one is going to die. You don't know who's going to die because some people, it looks like they're going to die, but then they escape and they live to the end. And some people that should have been killed don't get killed, and so it kind of leaves you guessing. Anyways, this is my first attempt at one of these ranking videos, so I'm gonna keep making them. And if you like them, let me know, or if you don't like them, let me know. I'll keep making them, and hopefully I'll kind of get better at this as I'm going along, and maybe I'll make other types of videos too. But anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.